Bienvenidos and welcome everybody here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin, and you've just seen me on an early cap there, ladies and gentlemen. With me, as always, are the great and powerful. Wait a minute. It's a whole new group up here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the man who has dopeness always on his mind. It is the man himself, Kevin Berger, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin, welcome back, man. How are you doing today, man?
Thanks, Andrew. It's good to be back. You know, we've had a little bit of difficulty. Fractured my toe in a car accident, so, you know, I have a broken toe. But, I mean, nobody was seriously hurt and stuff like that. That was the worst thing that came out of it.
That's good. We're glad you're okay, man.
Car's totaled, but those are always replaceable. That's why they have insurance.
Yes. Absolutely, man. You are more important than the car every day, man. We're glad you're okay. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, don't tell that to the insurance company.
Yeah, well, the insurance companies are another thing.
Assholes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin is back, but next time, of course, you know the man. Tyler Prickett, ladies and gentlemen, he is back. Tyler, welcome back, man.
What's this, amateur hour? He doesn't even have a hat or sunglasses?
Hey, man.
I can't steal your guys' swag.
We got a reputation to keep on this show. What the hell?
Hey, man, everybody's got to do their own flow, you know? Everybody's got their own thing to do, man. So, Tyler, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here and talk some, balls not falling our way. Balls not falling our way, man.
Truly, it's not. It doesn't seem to be. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
That sounds like the name of a really, really bad porn film.
Who knows? I mean, LeVar Ball likes to go into all different kinds of businesses. That's all I'm saying.
Welcome to Big Baller Zone.
Well, ladies and
Big
gentlemen.
Baller brand, the new porn product.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jesus. We got a fun show for you guys today. We've got a lot to talk about. Obviously, much NBA talk will be happening in the first half.
Hell yeah.
And then in the second half, we'll be following up with some actually new stuff we're exploring into, some baseball, but not the kind of baseball you would be expecting.
Cricket?
No. Not English baseball, no. But you'll be finding out in the second half of this show. But
From
guys,
Nebraska.
Yes, from Nebraska.
Oh, so cornhole. The national sport of Nebraska.
No,
well, we're
bags.
just going down a deep hole here.
Well, yeah, I know it's bags, but those heathens refer to it as cornhole.
All right. All right, well, you guys ready to get this one started? Now that we've gotten the giant
You're
yip of...
pissing off the only Boston fan in the back there.
Oh, what do you know? A Boston fan screaming about something. What a surprise.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, before everybody starts screaming, let's get this one started.
Let's do it.
Started off, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, if you haven't heard the big news, Magic Johnson decided to come out publicly
Tragic Bronson.
about what happened between him and the Lakers, saying that there was a deep crisis and a lot of drama happening on the backside of things, particularly with General Manager Rob Pelinka and COO Tim Harris, saying that both men were backstabbing him. Now, to clarify, basically what they were doing was, I guess, going around saying to him, where's Magic Johnson?
Hey,
is Magic Johnson not here?
I didn't know Rob Lowe was.
I was going to say, has anybody else think Rob Pelinka looks like Rob Lowe?
He does. He does look like Rob Lowe.
I'm not even going to lie to you. The absolute first time I saw that picture of LeBron, Rob Pelinka, and Magic Johnson, I swear to God I thought that was Rob Lowe.
They do look
For
alike.
weeks, I thought that was Rob Lowe.
They could be related for all we know.
I thought it was just a fan supporting LeBron.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, why is Rob Lowe in the box with Magic Johnson?
What's wrong with a little bit of Chris Traeger, man?
I mean,
you could always use a little bit more.
I know, but
it's a healthier option.
Definitely.
That is fair.
It's a fair.
That is fair.
All right. Well, with all the talk that's been coming through, obviously Magic Johnson went on ESPN. He said he had a lot to say. Basically, his breakdown was people around the Laker office was telling me Rob was saying things, and I didn't like those things being said behind my back, and that I wasn't in the office enough. So I started getting calls from my friends saying those things now were said to them outside of basketball. Now, that's what Magic Johnson had to say on ESPN with Stephen A. Smith on First Take, giving his interview. So what do you guys take away from – obviously he had more to say. We've kind of seen what he had to say. I mean, but what do you guys take away from Magic Johnson's comments? Tyler, why don't you start off, man?
Honestly, just going out and defending himself, obviously that makes a lot of sense for himself, obviously, because the way he went out wasn't the best.
Right.
He just up and quit on his team in a press conference following the season, and that's not a good way to go out. But if there's other hands tied in this basket and it's not necessarily his fault, I mean, hey, I respect that, but I don't know the story completely. to the point where what Pelinka said or what he didn't say and whatnot. Like you never know with media. One thing could be said, or So I don't know. I think it's just another way to get the Lakers on the screen since they're not in the playoffs with LeBron. So
right. Yeah, no, definitely. Kevin, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Well, first of all, apparently the Staples Center is the site of the new season of Degrassi: The Next Generation. So I noticed that.
Yeah, it's a lot of young crowd there.
Also, Andrew, I watched the whole interview in its entirety, and further on, Magic Johnson, he also stated that the biggest thing was, I guess there was a basketball decision that he was the president of basketball operations, so he's in charge of the basketball side. And he told Jeannie Buss and the people that were involved in the basketball decisions, hey, this is what we want to do. I do not remember for the life of me what the decision was. He said specifically what it pertained to. I can't remember what it is now.
Yeah.
But then after the day before, where him, Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, I think Luke Walton. Oh, it was about Luke Walton, whether they should keep or fire Luke Walton.
Yeah.
And he said that I really think that we should fire Luke Walton. And apparently everybody was on the same page.
Well, he didn't even just say he wanted Luke Walton out. He also said he wanted Rob Pelinka out as well.
Okay, I didn't catch that part, but I know this specifically was talking about Luke Walton. And then the next day, the COO, the guy, the head of the business side, he was in on the meeting too, and they like, oh well, I think Luke Walton should stay.
Yep.
And then of course Magic Johnson left, and then they fired him anyway, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I gathered from the fact that this epitomizes what the Lakers basically have been since the great Jerry Buss died.
Yeah.
It's just been one disaster and train wreck after another. And now they're at this crossroads where, yes, you have Frank Vogel as a coach. Nobody thinks that he's going to last there at all.
Yeah.
And that's why you have Jason Kidd there. LeBron is going to be LeBron James. I bet LeBron maybe plays out his contract if he doesn't get traded. Your locker room is already split down the middle. And most of those guys, most of them don't even know if they're going to be in a Lakers jersey or not.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Well, I mean, look, the Lakers situation, I mean, for me, I mean, I'm like you said, Tyler, I mean, he's defending himself. He's trying to protect his brand, make sure people see him as still Magic Johnson. Right. I mean, from where I stand with this, the fact of the matter is that I don't think Magic should have ever gotten that job because what did he prove? Outside of being
Magic Johnson,
arguably the best Laker, the best known Laker of all time. Yeah, he's a celebrity.
Best point guard of all time.
Well, I mean, it's the same argument that people have made against Michael Jordan being an owner.
Oh, well,
and the GM is that Michael Jordan was a great player.
Right.
Obviously, he's rectified his decision-making when it comes to being an owner, that now he's been a lot more hands-off.
Right.
I mean, before, that's why the Bobcats, now the Hornets were so bad, is that he kept taking decision after decision out of the hands of the basketball people and said, well, I'm Michael Jordan. I must know better than everybody else.
Right. Exactly what I was going to say is, like, Charlotte is a lower market versus L.A. where all your eyes are on you.
Exactly.
Like, he's not necessarily going to have everybody's support. And I felt like you just had all the attention coming to him with the AD thing going on and what happened there. And like you said, the locker room split and whatnot, not knowing if people are going to be playing there or not. And he just, like, screw it.
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, look, I'm going to take this one out of Colin Cowherd's pocket because whether you like him or hate him, I think he's always got some pretty good stuff for the most part. But he brought up some good stuff. So he brought up, like, the power structure models. He brought up that whole situation, like for the Heat. He said it for the Clippers and for the Warriors. And it's a nice little pyramid that goes with owners being at the top, strong, independent owners who hire the right guys, right? Like the Heat, it's Mickey Arson, the owner, Pat Riley's the GM and the president, and they got Eric Spoelstra being your head coach. You go to the Warriors, it's Joe Lacob at the top. He's a great owner.
Jerry West.
He stays in the tee with everything. Well, now it's Bob Myers and Steve Kerr.
I mean, Bob Myers still knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
So.
I mean, he's a legend. And then you've got the players: Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't even throw Kevin Durant. I would throw Klay, Draymond, and Steph because
they've been there the longer.
That's the other thing. Well, not even just they've been there longer, especially Draymond Green. They hold themselves accountable. They
Right.
hold every single guy on their team accountable, whether it's the 14th guy in the reserves or whether it's Kevin Durant.
Right.
They hold everybody accountable. And I know you're probably going to bring up the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers, they got Jerry West.
Right. And, well, that's the thing. Yeah, you've got Steve Ballmer, new owner, but wants to see the franchise get better. And it already is.
Jerry West
and
Doc
Jerry
Rivers.
West just steps in. He's old school basketball. He knows the game. He sees talent. He knows talent. Michael Winger is a young guy who sees talent. He knows talent, and he's connected with all the young players out there. And then you've got and then you got Doc Rivers who runs the show there. And then you got the Lakers, and it's just a giant mess where it's Jeannie Buss, but she's got Linda Rambis, and now Kurt Rambis, her husband, is hired.
What does Kurt Rambis do?
He's a senior advisor. That's
what
what
does
he's
Linda Rambis do?
She's a specialist advisor.
Just something to give him a title
exactly.
for.
They're giving. But look, it's Linda Rambis, it's Kurt Rambis, it's Rob Pelinka, it's Rich Paul with LeBron James, it's Frank Vogel, Jason Kidd, it's Tim Harris. There are so many names in this organization. It's way too many mouths.
Let's pause for a second.
Yeah.
Would you rather be in the Lakers situation or the Bulls situation?
I'd rather be in the Bulls situation right now.
Absolutely
I don't know.
I would rather.
Absolutely
I don't know.
not.
At least they have some talent. No, I'm just kidding. The Bulls have some talent.
Just
but,
that is probably either
here's-
traded away or ruined.
But here's the difference between the Bulls and the Lakers that I'm seeing. For the Bulls, you can kind of see where the center problem is, and you can focus on that, right? We can see
Lakers
where it's,
are just a complete crap
It's
shoot.
John Paxson and Gar Forman
Yeah.
for us, and that's kind of the point. And then it just goes to the top
Reinsdorf.
with Michael being the guy who runs the show. With this, it's like, well, okay, Jeannie Buss is clearly the controlling owner of this,
Right.
But then you've got all these other voices that are out there, you know. Plus, she's still connected because she's still connected with Kobe through. I mean, because he's still a special advisor, another one through the Lakers, and then Magic Johnson is still considered a special advisor because he's been friends with Jeannie Buss since she's been a kid.
Because they follow each other on Twitter.
Well,
right.
That's-
So I mean, they grew up together.
Well,
so
just one last thing on this for me is that if you're the Pelicans, you better hope that Zion Williamson does not sign with Rich Paul as a third team.
for real. Yeah, I mean, because this is, I mean, look.
How ironic would that be?
I mean, honestly, that would be a nightmare. I don't need Clutch Sports having all the power in the world like that. But this is, I mean, is this? Are the Lakers the new low now of the NBA?
No.
I mean, we look at the Knicks, and I know we say like, oh, they've really hit like the low of the NBA. But I look at this team, and I think this is probably like some of the worst stuff we're seeing, because this is bad. We're not hearing that much on the Knicks. We're hearing a ton of bad stuff coming on the Lakers.
Well, Andrew, it could always be worse. You could always be the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I mean, seriously, though. Because
Yes,
without
yeah.
LeBron and Kyrie, who are they? Nothing.
No, without
Nothing.
They don't
LeBron,
exist.
who are they? Because they had Kyrie
Kyrie-
Irving by himself for 3 years, and they finished at the bottom of the league every
if LeBron
year.
goes to the West and Kyrie is still in the East on the Cavs, they'd probably get
I mean,
an
for
8 seed at
God's
least.
sake, we're talking about the
They're
same,
better than the Magic.
We're talking about the same organization, guys, who drafted Anthony Bennett #1 overall.
It's very true.
Who isn't even in the league?
Yeah,
he got cut
Portland
by a
drafted
team
Greg Oden, #1 overall.
Yes, except at the time they didn't need another wing shooter. They didn't need shooters then.
True. But you got to draft talent. That's what you do. You gotta
Right.
Draft talent.
And except we're going to use that argument. And the Bulls traded LaMarcus Aldridge for Tyrese Thomas.
Then Taco Fall, #1 overall.
Man, you and Tom said the same thing Saturday. He was like,
I'm kidding. I don't want Taco Fall. Absolutely not.
Taco
Absolutely
Fall
not.
can't move.
No. Did you see that Instagram video? He's hitting hook shots
Oh,
like
yeah.
no other.
I know, it's insane.
If I was 7'5" and I could literally just throw the ball in a straight line at the backboard, I think I could hit them too.
Yeah. It's true.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. So you would say Lakers certainly not the new low, but
No, because they still have LeBron and they still have pieces that can win them basketball games. Before LeBron got hurt, they were what, the 6th seed or 7 or 6 or 5
I believe
seed?
so, yeah.
And
They would have made the playoffs.
And the
if
Phoenix
LeBron hadn't
Suns
got
are
hurt.
also still a thing too.
True.
So.
That's very true.
Those owner is so cheap that he literally traded away a pick for cash. That's how the Bulls got Luol Deng. Remember that? That's how the Bulls got
right.
Luol Deng.
That is very true. Yeah. Yeah. It is. I mean, I only asked that question because I just keep hearing we hear about all this news. We hear all this news. We see all this stuff from the Lakers, and it's just, it's one of those things where if I was in the organization, I would be like, I want to wash my hands of this.
Hey,
Like,
guess
this
what?
is a nightmare.
If I'm on the Lakers and I'm getting my paycheck, that's all that counts for me.
Right,
Yeah.
but when you brought up
No
the
problem.
Knicks, though, if the Knicks, their front office, if they,
Trash.
if they line up KD and Kyrie or something like that,
Right.
like Jimmy Butler and
Not
stuff like,
gonna happen.
they
Not
could
gonna
turn their franchise around right there. I
Nope.
mean, they have the position to do that.
Nope.
And I mean, the number 3 pick, getting
Yeah.
RJ Barrett.
They're the Knicks.
I know,
They
but
find a way to screw it
The
up.
thing with the Lakers, though, is they're trying to go put all their eggs in one basket going after AD, and I don't think that's the right move. I think you just draft and just try to get better through there and keep the team together.
I mean, at this point, it just feels like the Lakers just need. I have trouble even understanding if they even have like a feel on what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and you don't even really know what you have with Lonzo Ball yet. I mean, we're gonna get
think
into it.
yeah.
We're gonna get into it, but I have some thoughts on that because at first, I don't want anything to do with them. But
Right.
when you really look at it, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely pour into that here. So real quick, final thoughts on the Lakers. What do you believe is going to happen next year for this team? What's going down for the LA Lakers? What are you seeing?
If they can get Kemba or Kyrie to come to the Lakers, they could be. Or I don't think they traded for
There's
AD. I don't think that
no
happens.
way.
Kemba or Kyrie goes to the Lakers. I think they're
Okay.
5 seed.
Oh, okay.
5 seed and
Kemba's-
make a run just because of
Kemba's
LeBron's
not
playoff
going to go
experience.
to LA because I think Kemba wants the money. Like, to be honest, and there's nothing wrong with that, guys. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Kemba, you can go get yourself a Supermax. You're playing for Jordan. You know what? Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it. Also because Kemba is too much of a loose cannon for LeBron James to play with.
It's
Kyrie
Jordan, right? He's he's Jordan
Yeah.
affiliate. Yeah.
Well, and also he plays for Charlotte. Who's
No, I know.
Right.
Well, I
No,
was
he's
tying into
also
the points.
associated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, he's Nike and Jordan brand.
Yeah.
But Kyrie Irving and LeBron James could ring in, but I don't think Kyrie Irving's going to go to the Lakers either because I think Kyrie, honest to God, has it in his head that he can be the best player on a championship team. This is also coming from the same person who still believes the world is flat, so take that for what it's
No,
worth.
he debunked that.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about the Lakers?
Dumpster fire.
As we continue to follow this huge mess.
Trash.
What do you guys think about the Lakers? Do you think they can keep it going? Comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. All right, moving on from the Lakers, ladies and gentlemen.
Next.
We've got ourselves to talk about the Bulls here, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
God.
So
we have to.
we do. But this is hopefully on the upside because
There is no upside.
just hold on, because the Chicago Bulls still have the number 7 overall pick at this point, but there's been a lot of talks potentially who they could draft and also what they could move the number 7 overall pick for. So I thought, even though it's very early and the draft is still a ways away, I thought we should kind of pour through the early portion of this and see exactly who they can trade for and who they could potentially draft. So you guys ready to hit this one?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so
Sure.
start it off with what can they draft for the number 7 overall pick?
Pause.
What's
A
that?
wise man, Ricky Bobby, once said, "If you ain't first, you're last."
It's very true. That's very true. But with the number 7 pick, we could potentially come first. There's a possibility here because there's some good players that we could get at 7, but that all depends on how things fall out.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a couple guys here that we can pour through, so I thought let's get through a few of these names.
Sure.
One of the big ones that is right now reoccurring over and over again.
Kobe White.
It is absolutely Kobe White. Kobe White from UNC, 6'5", 185 pounds, averaged 14 points a game, came up with about 4.2 assists per game, I believe it was, and he was averaging around, I think it was 1.8 steals a game. He shot from over 40% from three-point range, shot for almost 48% from the field. I mean, he was absolutely phenomenal. He was one of the best players, if not the best player on that UNC team. He became the leader down the stretch there. I mean, what do you guys think on Kobe White going to the Bulls?
Andrew, I definitely like him. I think the biggest thing for him is his decision making has to get better.
Yeah, agreed.
Because he did average almost 3 turnovers a game.
Yes.
So he did have some questionable decisions with the ball at times.
Right.
However, if you get that kid out in open space, there is nobody in this class that can compete with him in the open court.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was dynamic passing and scoring in the open court. That's why UNC's offense was so high powered is that they just ran. I mean, including the game they play, including the 2 games they played against Duke.
Right.
They just ran up and down the court on everybody. It was just a track meet.
Yeah.
Game with UNC. He was definitely a really solid player. I'm trying to figure out if he could be a really good point guard for the future, though, because to me he seems like he's a bit more of a combo guard.
Mm-hmm.
So he could definitely run the point for you, but if he's gonna run my point, he definitely has to improve his decision making.
Tyler, what do you think?
Yeah,
man?
I agree. Definitely, the decision making is just something that you really have to look at and work at. But I think he has a lot of untapped potential.
Right.
He's a very exciting player, like Kevin said, and he's gonna be able to dish. He's gonna be able to score. He's gonna be able to shoot the 3 and everything like that. So I mean, 6'5", right?
Yeah, 6'5".
I mean, I think he fits right in there.
Listed at 6'5".
He's like a point guard version of
pounds.
Zach LaVine. I mean, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He doesn't not high flyer like Zach LaVine by
I
any
don't
means.
need another high flyer.
But no,
like
I'm
Zach
saying
LaVine.
he would fit in there. And if you think that's better than, I mean, Darius Garland, I like that, but I think Kobe White's the better player, in my opinion.
Kobe White's also not coming off a season where he was hurt most of the
Right,
season.
exactly.
Right.
And Kobe White, I think like the thing with him, he doesn't really get all that media attention because he's not a very outspoken player. Like he keeps to himself.
And I like that. Trust me.
I know
don't-
you don't need personality.
I mean, it certainly helps in our
Right.
in our line of work.
yeah,
Personality
wanting to
comes
see
through,
it, right.
But I mean, for a guy, for fans of the Bulls to see a guy that's quiet. I mean, look, Derrick Rose. Whatever you think about him is whatever you think about him. But he was a quiet guy. He really didn't try to stir up a lot of stuff in the media and things like that.
Guys, breaking news. This is just breaking. University of Michigan has officially introduced Juwan Howard as their coach for a 5-year deal to become their new head coach.
Oh, congratulations, Juwan Howard. Hopefully you can bring
The greatest Heat of all time.
Very true. Yeah.
Hey man, that guy's the only one of the Fab Five to ever win an NBA title.
True.
Yeah. All right. So
Still can't believe
yes,
that
Kobe
Jim
White.
Rose
I mean, I'm in the same boat with you guys. Decision making.
Obviously, you're a UNC fan.
I know.
Let's show your bias here live in front of a sold out.
I love Kobe
crowd.
White. I do want them to draft Kobe White.
No, I agree. I like it.
The only thing is my big concern is obviously you've got a lot of shooters now on the not a lot of shooters, but you have guys that definitely can shoot now on the Bulls. You want a guy who can definitely distribute the ball more. Decision making, you need that certainly to pass the ball. And he didn't really pass a lot in college. But when he did pass, he did have some very sweet moves. He hit some behind the backs. You don't need all that fancy stuff, but when you can do that kind of stuff and have that sense of awareness, that really counts for something because that shows you know what's going on the court at all times. And his basketball IQ has measured right there at the top with some of the best pros out there. So he understands what's happening. So that's why I like him. Now, Darius Garland's a guy you brought up, Tyler, and obviously there's a lot of upside on this kid. He's projected possibly to go top 5, but big concern, ACL injury. Right. But but because he's a freshman and because he had so much talent and because the high school hype is always there with a lot of these guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of high school hype with OJ Mayo, and look how that worked.
Right,
out.
exactly. But that's the thing is like you have to be concerned with that. So Tyler, because you brought up Darius Garland, started off, man. What do you think on Darius Garland?
I mean, I think he could be an exciting player. You just have to see what happens. Like, is he going to have any fallback with that knee injury?
Right.
And, I mean, like you said, he only played 8 games. You never really know. That's like a wishy-washy situation there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a good player, but I think if you're breaking it down between Kobe White and Darius Garland, I'd rather go Kobe White because you know where you're getting with him, whereas Darius Garland, you never know.
Yeah, definitely.
And Darius Garland, you probably won't even see actual Darius Garland for 2-3 years.
That's fair.
Because after you have a major knee injury like that,
Yeah.
not only is it no, they won't. But not only is it physically, it takes about 9 to 12 months to actually fully recover.
Yeah.
But then it's the mind at that point, and when is he mentally going to feel fully comfortable being explosive, coming off the pick and roll, coming down, even something as simple as coming down from a jump shot.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point.
The mental aspect is definitely something.
That's a fair point because you look at what happened with Derrick Rose after he got hurt,
He looks
and
skittish.
you had to have everybody had to
Derrick
have
Rose
seen that he
hasn't
looked
looked right until now.
right.
Yeah.
And he looked like he was terrified to drive the lane, so he took a lot more jump shots. It's only now that we're seeing, like you said, it's only now that we're seeing this guy who's actually adjusted to the way the league is being played now, where you have to shoot the ball from far range. But
Right.
before, he was so terrified to drive because he didn't want to get hurt again.
I mean, look at what happened to Kevin Durant after he had his horrific.
Right.
He broke his foot, I think, right? Didn't he break it? Like had stress fractures in his
I
foot. early
believe
in his
he
career?
had the stress fracture in his foot, and then I believe he also had a stress fracture in his
Yeah.
tibia. I think it was.
The-
What about Paul George with broken leg?
Yes,
Paul
George
Gordon
with the
Hayward.
broken leg.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward
he's
with a
not-
broken leg.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a couple good games, but for the most
He's
part,
never
he's
been
not.
the same player.
Only
He was having
the
star
only
potential. He got
athlete
a
I have
bag.
ever seen to not be affected, at least basketball player to never be affected, it's seemingly mentally by their injuries, is Russell Westbrook. But that's just because Russell Westbrook's just a completely different animal.
Yeah.
Just physically and
Like
mentally,
said,
he's
yeah.
a different animal.
Right.
Mental aspect definitely plays.
Yeah.
into it.
All right. So so outside of that, I mean, obviously, there's a ton of more players that we could pour through. There's Jarrett Culver and there's Rui Hachimura. There's so many. I
I
mean,
don't want Hachimura.
I had a like, where is Carson Edwards projected to go?
Carson Edwards right now, I think he's looked at as being a late pick
He's,
in the draft,
Kentucky, right?
potentially.
No.
No, he's from Purdue.
He just
because
had an insane
he
tournament.
is somebody
He is a
that
gamer.
He was that shooter, right?
he's the kid
Yeah.
from Purdue that was putting up
Yeah.
42 points in the
Put
tournament.
him with the guys that the Bulls got. Oh my gosh, it's endless.
If you can get him in the second round,
seriously,
I would
in the
take
second
him.
round.
Where are you
that's
gonna play
a
him?
steal. You just play
Point
the one.
guard. Yeah.
He's better than Chris Dunn.
I don't need a shoot first, ask questions later point guard.
But here's the thing.
because I already have Zach LaVine for that.
But here's the thing, Kevin. On top of the fact that he was scoring so many points, he still was able to dish out almost 9 assists.
He
a
reminds
game.
me a lot of Damian Lillard.
So he still has that talent and ability to get it done. And he does. He looks a lot like
reminds me a
Damian
lot
Lillard.
of
I
Damian
don't
Lillard.
have an opinion on him because I really didn't see him play all that much this year.
I didn't either, but I saw the tournament and wow.
He took over. He
Yeah.
really took over. I mean, he is
Purdue, another colossal
potentially on that
disappointment in
level
the
of Damian
tournament.
Lillard. But if you can get him in the second round,
Oh, exactly.
Even-
That's a steal.
it's perfect because even if he just gives you 10 points coming off the bench, it's gonna help. Anything's gonna help this team at this point. We just need a lot of depth. And man, if you can get Kobe White and Carson Edwards as depth at point guard, forget it. I think we're gonna be set then.
Right.
Archie Diacono, goodbye. You know.
Hey,
think we're
hey,
one-
I'm just
hey,
saying,
hey,
man. I'm just saying.
Whoa!
You can let a few guys go then.
I think we're a point
Got-
guard. We're a point guard and a healthy
See-
season away from like the 6th
See,
seed.
guys, we got to remember that we got to slow down a little bit, guys, with trying to get rid of all our point guards. Because, like, okay, yes, Chris Dunn, I think the ship has sailed on Chris Dunn.
Yeah.
He's 24, 25 now. We know what he's going to be. He's not going to develop that much more.
He was playing really good until he had that. Like,
Well, yeah,
nose
until he
injury.
landed and broke his face.
Right.
Yes, we
Yeah.
know that. But
was
Shaquille
exciting,
Harrison, guys, I like Shaquille Harrison because
He's a tough guy.
he's tough, but
Walt
he,
Lennon Jr. Let him
Well,
run the one.
well, guys, and the thing is, I've developed a little bit of a personal relationship with Walt because when I helped cover the Windy
Working
City
the Windy
Bulls at
City?
the end of working with the Windy City Bulls, we went out to dinner a couple times. Walt, really, really nice guy, really humble, but he is freakishly athletic for how small
yeah.
he is, and I think
so he
people.
buys his game after
And
he
I think
rose.
people vastly underrate how good he could actually be on the pro level.
Yeah.
So I don't want.
I'm not-
I don't want specifically Shaquille Harrison and Walt. I don't
Yeah.
want them to be another Etwan Moore,
Yeah.
or a Spencer Dinwiddie, where the Bulls had these guys up for a little bit. They showed that they can play, and then they go somewhere else and actually, given minutes, become great.
No. Yeah,
I
it's-
want them to stay here, especially Shaquille Harrison, because of what he brings you defensively, especially off the bench.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, you saw him; he was going toe to toe with the likes of Russell Westbrook and John Wall and holding his own.
I mean, he was doing a good job. And look, I'm not saying eliminate all these guys, but to get those two players in the draft gives you some leniency to be able to kind of clear out some room. Man, I'm not saying you have to eliminate everybody. Certainly, you have the G League. You can send guys down as you want. But you know, for what I see, Carson Edwards is a guy that you could easily plug him, I think, into the system, and I think he could be a nice, solid, and not a solid starter, but he could be a good situational guy. Kobe White's a guy that I think he can come in, maybe not right off the bat, but give him to the All-Star break, and after that, I think he can become an elite player for us.
So, with that being said, in this hypothetical scenario, who would be your starting point guard day one?
Day one?
Yeah.
It'd be Kobe White.
Yeah, easily.
Kobe White easily.
You don't waste a number 7 draft pick on
Yeah, if they both show that talent, I would split the time between them. Give them both 24 minutes, see what they could do. But for the most part, you're starting it with Kobe White. But
now, if Jarrett Culver fell, I don't know if he's starting.
I'm a lot more skeptical than you guys about the Bulls because, again, guys, this is Garpax we're talking about. The only way the Bulls are going to return to relevancy is they have to sell the team, fire Gar, fire Pax, fire Boylan, fire the ball boy, the concessions managers, the security guards, the ushers.
Would you just like to move the
towel
whole team?
Boy. No, it's just literally everybody that is currently employed with the Chicago Bulls organization you need to fire.
Yeah.
And bring in an entirely new culture, an entirely new ball, everything. Yeah. Literally, the only person who can stay is Benny the Bull. Because Benny the Bull is good at what he does.
All right, Robin Lopez.
I like Robin Lopez too.
Okay.
You know what? Robin Lopez can be the new head of marketing or something, so he can boss Benny the Bull.
He's kind of funny. He does some funny things.
He's hilarious. He fights all the mascots. It's
all
awesome.
right. So outside of all the stuff we've talked about, real quick before we get out of this, there's obviously been a lot of talks in terms of the Bulls making some trades. We've heard some of them. We have some thoughts on them. Just real quick. I mean, what's the most idiotic trade you've heard, and what do you think is the smart trade for the Bulls to make with the number 7 pick? Give me the bad trade and give me the good trade. What do you think? Tyler, started off, man.
I did think, all right, idiotic trade would definitely be the Mike Conley situation. I do not want to take. That'd be stupid. I mean, he's not going to win you a championship. He's not that type of player.
The Bulls don't have enough. The Bulls don't even have enough cap space to have him anyway.
That'd be terrible. That would set you back even more than you already are.
Right.
That'd be awful.
I do like Mike
just
Conley,
quick, because I feel like we're doing a little round table here. I like Lonzo Ball. I honestly do, because you don't know what you have with him yet. He's been injured, and the situation there, they haven't really given him an opportunity to even, find himself. And with the whole shoe situation, he's not part of Big Baller Brand anymore, and everything like that. I mean, I don't like to think of that as something, but maybe it is. You never know. And, a top 3 overall talent in the draft just 2 years ago, you never know what you're going to have with him, and bring him in. I mean, what you could do worse is what I'm saying.
Yeah, fair enough. Kevin, what are you thinking? What's your idiotic trade?
The worst trade is what he says, Mike Conley. Okay. And I love Mike Conley, guys. I always have. He's always been one of my more favorite players in the NBA. Mm-hmm. He's been very good at what he's done for a really long time. But the guy is 30 years old at this point. Yeah. And he has a lot of mileage on those legs. Not to mention he's had a couple injuries himself. And again, $30 million a year. To put it in perspective, guys, there's only 2 other players in NBA history that have ever gotten $30 million a year contracts, and those names are Michael Jeffrey Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's ludicrous to say that Mike Conley is not nearly as good as either of those 2.
Not to mention we only have $23 million in cap space.
Yeah, left, so we can't even afford to pay him any without dipping it in the luxury tax. And nobody wants to do that.
Right.
What is Butler looking at? Because like I said, I don't want.
Don't care.
Back. I don't.
Jimmy,
did you hear about
don't
that?
Care.
Jimmy Boylan went out to dinner with them.
Yeah, Jimmy wants somewhere around the same pace. He wants like $30 million a year.
Exactly. He's not worth $30 million either.
Don't bring him back.
Anyway.
Do you think the thing with Jim Boylan taking him out to dinner or whatever like that, or
No.
whichever way it is?
Who cares?
I don't think it's a thing. I don't think it's a
Yeah.
thing. But do you think it's trying to drive those other teams to be like, hey, the Bulls will give me this?
No.
All right, can you give me that too?
Who cares?
It's possible.
I don't put any stock in it. Anyway.
Neither do I. But I'm just saying.
Admittedly, the Lonzo trade is interesting.
Yeah.
But guys, this is something that I've thought of, and again, it's the whole presence of, is he going to stay or is he going to not stay? Mm-hmm. If I'm the Bulls, I call up New Orleans and say, hey, look at our roster. In this hypothetical scenario, if you were trading Anthony Davis and you were looking at our roster, what do you want?
Yeah.
I think you'd be doing yourselves a disservice to at least not ask.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, again, if they're asking for Markkanen and Levine or some combination of Markkanen and Carter or Markkanen and
Levine
Dunn,
is the future, in my opinion.
and if it's too much, then just say it's too much.
Yeah.
I would look at maybe a piece on Boston. Not a superstar player, but honestly, I think the Bulls could benefit from someone like a Marcus Smart, a Jaylen Brown, even a Markieff Morris.
Yeah.
Because Markieff Morris has been there before. He knows how to win. Marcus Smart, fantastic for
Great
Boston off
defender.
the bench. Jaylen Brown is a really good 3-and-D who's an athletic freak, who's a physical freak. But I would say the Lonzo trade, as much as I don't want to say it, it would benefit the Bulls in more ways than one, because number one, they'd have a guy whose literally only job is to play defense and pass.
Right.
He would not have to score unless he's literally coming down the lane that's wide open.
That's fair.
And also it'd make our jobs a hell of a lot more entertaining, because then we got big ball zone.
God.
On the side. And also, I think it would be interesting because Levine wouldn't have to worry about not getting his shots from there. But pick and pop game with Lonzo and Markkanen, Lonzo Ball has already proven that he's pretty good in the pick and roll, especially when it comes to drive and dish.
Yeah.
That's why him and LeBron James don't work in LA, is because if they're on the court at the same time, you have two guys that literally do the exact same thing.
Right.
And most of the time that doesn't work. So
no, fair enough. For my favorite, I would say get Drew Holiday, trade him the 7th, Chris Dunn and Denzel Valentine. I think it'd be good to go. And
God.
I would like that too.
Please don't bring up Denzel Valentine.
And then the other one, my most hated. I mean, I'm split because when it comes to Lonzo, I know he plays good defense. I know he has a good assist, but it's the shooting that just. I know he doesn't really have to shoot, but at the same time, it's the shooting that just gets under my skin.
You got Otto Porter and Zach LaVine and Markkanen for
completely unrelated to sports. I would want Lonzo
Yeah.
for like his physical attributes and what he can be.
Yeah.
But if we're having another situation with what Rose went through with his brother, I don't want that. With his dad.
Exactly.
I don't want
and
any
I also
part
don't
of
need
that.
the nightmare. And Conley can't even afford that, ladies and gentlemen. But what do you think about what's going on here with the Chicago Bulls? Who do you think they're going to draft? Who do you think they're going to be picking up in free agency? Who do you think they could potentially trade for? Comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Tyler,
Thanks for
Kevin,
having me,
this
man.
has been a blast, man. This has been great. Kevin, where can they find you real quick, man?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at KevinBTheGamer. You can go follow me over on Instagram at _BergSquad, especially on Twitter and Facebook if you guys like timeline videos of dogs and video games.
There you go. All right, Tyler, where can they find you, man?
Follow me on Twitter at Tyler Dillon. That's 2 R's and 2 N's.
I spelled it right this time,
You
mind you.
did.
Dylan.
Huh?
Why Dylan?
That's my middle name.
It's with 2 N's?
No, it was just a handle. I mean, I don't know. It's a Twitter handle. Tyler Dillon with 1 R and 1 N was taken.
No matter how
and
hard he tries
when
to
I
spell
made
it,
my
never
Twitter,
works.
my dad didn't like that I had my full name with my last name and everything. He's like all weird about that. So, but then also you can follow me. I just started up my own podcast with my friend. We're at the Chain Gang NFL. We talk all NFL and obviously with everything coming. So we got a lot of content going out there. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Then you can also catch us live 11 to 1 on Saturdays with my co-host Jake Bradley, putting up points on SportsTownChicago.com.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Make sure to go check out Tyler and Jake on Putting Up Points. Go check out his podcast. Make sure to check out Kevin on his Instagram, on his Twitter, and, of course, at the Respawn Cast as well. Every Tuesday, Friday, they're going to be streaming. We're going to be pimping that out later in the show. But coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we've got college baseball and college softball we're going to be hitting you with, plus the Bears Top 100. We'll be back
Nebraska.
with all that and more here on the X1 Sports Live Show. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, watch your mouth. Why? I'll just put a quarter in the swear jar. Once it's filled, we get a Coors party after work. I've been drinking Coors since my college days. The cold draft taste is second to none. Yeah, worth the recorder, am I right? You know it, mother.
Hey, you get those reports done?
Yeah. No. You, sir. Attention, employees.
The staff meeting, scheduled for this evening, will now be held tomorrow early as
That is all. Dudes, we're only 75 cents short. Oh, shh. Boss. Hey, sir, go yourself. You're fired. Yeah!
Man, I'm so hungry. I need somewhere to eat fast. I have no idea where to go. Psst. Hola, me llamo El Taco de Taco. You know where to go for the amazing taste that'll have you craving more? Taco Bell.
Can I get 20 tacos, please?
You got it.
Thanks, Taco.
De nada.
Good. That's it. Eat the tacos.
Taco Bell. Live más.
Man, are you still working out? It's like 1,000 degrees.
Intense heat is nothing. To get an intense workout, you gotta be intense.
Our friend here's getting an intense workout with the intense cool of his Hydrotech Cool Breeze shoes. Which brings your feet a cooling sensation that is the best on the market today. Can only be explained with one word.
Intense!
Whether you're working out hard or just taking a stroll, these shoes have got your back. Or I should say, your feet.
Aren't these shoes intense?
Maybe a little too intense, but there's no doubt they're cool.
And welcome back, everybody, here to the X-Mom Sports Live Show. I am still Andrew Valentin, sitting here lustfully looking at you with my eyes. And, of course, next to me, oh, wait a minute. It is no longer Kevin Berger. It is no longer Tyler Prickett. No, it is now the man who is dressed in black and gold. No green for the first time in a long time. It's Tom McKinney, ladies and gentlemen.
Yet the jersey still looks weird.
It still looks weird.
No, that looks a little better.
You know what? You look fine. It's better than when you wore the Athletics and then you looked like a Pittsburgh Pirate. Trying to look like Raleigh Fingers for Halloween. Hey, you pulled it off, but you still.
Hey, he might come back.
Who blended into the background?
He might come back.
All right, Tom, how are you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. I've officially started giving up sports, even though I'm talking sports.
I know you've been saying that quite a bit now. I mean,
I'm a little upset right now.
Well, we're not talking about your sport here, but we are talking a specific kind of sport that I know you do like. So you ready to do this, man?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, well, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna start this one off with college baseball, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. This is a sport that we've covered baseball, but we've never covered the college side of things. And if you guys don't know, it gets pretty wild and crazy here in the world of college baseball. So, I mean, and we've got the rankings here for you guys.
Well,
so
I have projected field of 64.
Oh, already?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was as of 10 hours ago.
So hit us with the top seeds. Give us the 1 and 2s.
I don't think it has the top seeds.
Okay.
Well, they do for each place they'll play.
Okay.
But this is from Baseball America.
Yeah.
So this is pretty accurate. You have let me restart there. Number 1 overall seed UCLA playing in Los Angeles, California, followed by in that one it would be UCLA number 1.
Yep.
Fresno State 2, UC Irvine, and Kansas. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I got that wrong. Playing in Nashville, the number 2 overall seed would be Vanderbilt. Then you'd have Michigan, Arizona, Jacksonville State.
Okay.
Athens, Georgia would be Georgia, the number 3 overall seed. And then followed by California, Sam Houston State, Florida A&M, who clinched their first ever tournament.
That's right.
In Starksville, Mississippi, you would have Mississippi State, who would be the number 4 overall seed, followed by Illinois State, Clemson, and Southern. I don't know what Southern that is. It just says Southern.
Yeah.
In Arkansas, wherever Arkansas is at, the 5th overall seed would be Arkansas. I don't want to talk about Arkansas.
Why not?
Because I don't. Then you'd have Connecticut, Virginia, and Stony Brook, which I didn't realize they were good at baseball. I thought they were only good at lacrosse.
Been really good.
Then you'd have Louisville, Kentucky would be another regional site with number 6 seed Louisville, Auburn, Indiana State, Ball State.
Yep.
Lubbock, Texas Tech would be the 7th overall seed, followed by Creighton, Texas Tech, Nebraska, Omaha, Greensville, North Carolina. North Carolina would not be ranked.
I know.
The 8th overall seed would be Eastern Carolina, followed by North Carolina, Virginia Commonwealth, and Elon. And then, so that's would be one side. The other side, you have Coral Gables, Florida would be a regional.
Yep.
The 16th overall seed would be Miami. Then you have Louisiana State, Florida Atlantic, Florida Gulf Coast. Raleigh, North Carolina State would be the 15 overall seed. West Virginia, Tennessee, Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
College Station, Texas A&M would be the 14th overall with Baylor, Houston, and Wright State.
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas with the 13th overall seed would be UC Santa Barbara. Is that the Banana Slugs?
I don't believe so, no.
Dang it. Arizona State, Florida State, New Mexico State. Then Stanford, California. I wonder who's going to host that one. Stanford would be the 12th overall seed, followed by Indiana, Brigham Young, or BYU, and Harvard. Stillwater would be Oklahoma State at the 11th, followed by Dallas Baptist, Nebraska, and Bryant. Corvallis, Oregon, 10th overall seed would be Oregon State, Ole Miss, Duke, and Army. God, I hate Duke. And then Atlanta, Georgia would be Georgia Tech at the 9th seed with Illinois, Florida, and Samford.
All right. Jeez. All right. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, shout out to Illinois and Illinois State for being able to qualify for the College World Series. So good luck to you guys. Hopefully we'll see you guys win. But, yeah, look, this College World Series looks to be a good one. I mean, the top 10 teams right now in the rankings, it's UCLA, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Stanford, Arkansas, Georgia Tech, Georgia, East Carolina, and Louisville and Texas Tech in that order, 1 through 10. So, I mean, and there's so many other teams in here. And the surprising one is that Oregon's fallen out of the top 10, Oregon State's fallen out of the top 10. They've won back-to-back-to-back College World Series. I mean, they've been so dominant, and they have the number 1 overall pick potentially sitting in their roster in Aldi Ruthman. So it's a bit of surprise. I'm not shocked though by UCLA because they've had a custom of great players. Their pitching staff looks incredible, and a lot of them are potentially first-round picks. Tom, I mean, what are you viewing on this College World Series, though?
They are the Banana Slugs, by the way. UC Santa Barbara is the Banana Slugs.
I got UC Santa Cruz.
It's Santa Cruz. God, I hate you.
You were wrong.
Well,
yeah.
I typed in it says UCSB mascot Banana Slug, and I was like, oh, we got it.
No, it's
I want
wrong
Santa
one.
Cruz in because I want that team. I just want the Banana Slugs.
All right. Well, Tom, what are you viewing from the College World Series? What are you liking about this? I mean, who would be your favorite? You would be looking at.
Obviously, the favorite's going to be UCLA.
Yeah.
Those California teams, the Southern teams, they play baseball all year round, which they're not supposed to.
You can do that when you got nice weather. That's the problem.
Don't care. If you want it fair, you got to have it fair for everybody.
That's true.
Like you want Notre Dame's and the Illinois to win and stuff like that, then you got to have it fair for everybody. You can't have teams playing in the South being able to play outside all year round when teams in the North can only play either inside or can't play at all.
They also have to grab the right recruits too. I mean, the California schools, they get all the top guys mostly.
Well, you're not wrong.
I mean,
but at the same time,
and the SEC,
you're not wrong. But at the same time, I think they need to start looking at the fact, and this is my whole argument with why the SEC is so dominant and same with the ACC, is because they're able to practice outside when they're not supposed to, really. They're supposed to only practice inside from a certain time of year to a certain time of year.
Right.
And we obviously know how the SEC works. They pay the NCAA and then pay their players, too. What?
Such a grudge.
Am I wrong? I even hate the ACC, and Notre Dame's in the ACC.
Well, yeah, I guess you're not totally wrong, but...
here's another one. They also have projected the last 4 in, last 4 out, and next 4 out.
Yeah.
They have the last 4 in would be Arizona, Clemson, Florida, and Virginia.
Okay.
First 4 out would be Missouri, Central Florida, Southern Mississippi, Oklahoma.
Wow.
And next 4 out would be Wake Forest, Washington, Louisiana Tech, and Liberty.
That shocks me with Florida because they've always been such a good team. I mean, they always seem to put out so much talent. They're always so productive, but this year they had such a down year. And for some reason now, all of a sudden, the College World Series seems like it's out of reach for them.
Can we just all become Harvard fans? Or you know what? Let's go Dallas Baptist.
Dallas Baptist?
Let's just pick these long shots.
Yeah, Dallas Baptist is ranked at 24. They're the only team that has not... They're the only team in this ranking that you won't find in a Division I football or basketball.
Or Elon.
Or Elon as
Virginia
well. Yes.
Commonwealth.
Yes, UC Santa Barbara. But this is one of the great things on the College World Series is that you have these small schools that could potentially do
Where's
damage.
Campbell?
Campbell, I don't even ask me, dude. I've seen all these teams, and I don't know where half of them are located.
This is how I learn about a lot of teams. You look at brackets.
Exactly. You find the small schools.
Like, where's Canisius or whatever?
Canisius.
Yeah, where is that?
You're asking the wrong person, my friend. All right. Well, on the outside of the college basketball world, baseball world, excuse me, we also have the college softball
New York.
world going on as well. That's right. College softball is something we've never touched, but this year there's been so much hype around what's been going down in the College World Series for softball that it's.
What?
Can we just say bananas?
I got who came out of the regionals.
Hit us with it.
So Oklahoma came out of the Norman Regional, which they were the number 1 overall seed. They beat UMBC, Wisconsin, and Notre Dame. On the other side in the Seattle Regional, you had Washington come out, and they beat Frodham, Seattle U, and Mississippi State. Out of the Lexington, it came Kentucky, Toledo. They beat Toledo, Virginia Tech, and U of I.
Yeah.
Sad day. Out of the Oxford, which was Ole Miss, they came out of it. They beat Chattanooga, SEMO, which is southeast Missouri, and the Raging Cajuns and Louisiana Tech, I believe.
Yep.
And in the Tucson, you had Arizona advanced. They beat Harvard, Auburn, and Colorado State.
Mm-hmm.
Minneapolis, Minnesota won that one. They beat North Dakota, Drake, and Georgia.
Yep.
And Baton Rouge, you had Ellis lose and
say it right.
LSU. They beat Monmouth, Louisiana Tech, and Texas Tech.
Yep.
Knoxville, Tennessee. It's weird because everybody who hosted a regional came out of that regional.
Exactly.
I don't get it, and I think it's wrong.
It's home advantage, man.
I take that back. Here, first one. Ann Arbor, thank the Lord. James Madison beat, I don't know who that is. STFRPA, don't know. They beat Michigan and DePaul. UCLA came out of the Los Angeles one and beat Weber State, CSU Fullerton, and Missouri. Tallahassee had Florida State beating Cook, and South Carolina and Southern Florida. Stillwater, Oklahoma State beat BYU, Tulsa, and Arkansas. Knoxville, you had Tennessee coming out. They beat Longwood.
Yep.
Ohio State and UNC. Gainesville, you had Florida. They beat BU, Boston U. Stanford and Boise State. Tuscaloosa, you had Alabama, beat Alabama State. Lipscomb and Arizona State. Austin, you had Texas, Sam Houston State, Texas A&M, Houston. That's a home field advantage for all those, isn't it?
Yeah, it's home field advantage for everybody except for James Madison that's coming out of this thing. So yes,
but I'm talking about in that Austin one. They're all Texas teams.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then
it's a home field advantage all the way around for them.
Well, here's another one actually as well. Evanston.
Yes.
Northwestern came out of the Evanston Regional
Right.
and beat Detroit, Mercy, Louisville, and the school I went to for a year in Southern Illinois. Go Salukis!
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the turnout pullout. Now, obviously, there's a lot of big matchups here, which, by the way, shout out to UCLA because this is the first time they've had two teams in the top rankings for the women's softball and for men's baseball.
Well, they don't have the men's yet, so we don't know what could happen in their tournament.
No, but I mean, in terms of their rankings, because the women's are ranked in the top 10, and the men's are ranked in the top 10. This is the first time that's ever happened in the school's history.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, by the way, because that's huge.
Don't care. Let's go Northwestern.
Yes.
Got your back.
Northwestern.
Good luck.
We're rooting for you the whole way because you are playing a dominant Oklahoma team. Because,
in Norman, which I don't like.
Yeah, but this Oklahoma team right now, it's studded, right? They've already had 3 draft picks that went in the National Pro Fast Pitch draft. They have a plethora of more that are going to be coming out soon, they said. And they've already signed some of the top players in the country as well. So this one's looking like it's going to be sparked. But obviously when it comes to softball, when it comes to baseball, I root for LSU. But when it comes to softball, I root for Northwestern because, hey, after what we had to go through and after the most wonderful person we were able to meet, Miss Emily Allard, which, by the way, thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to do a documentary on you and stuff. My love and passion for Northwestern softball just grew, and now I support them fully. So
I just root for the teams that have cool mascots. Like when Coastal Carolina was in
Yes.
it, they're like the Fighting Hens, and they're blue, and I think it was awesome.
Oh, that's a
That's the
wonderful-
team I wanted to beat TCU, and they
It's-
did, and it was great.
It's not even like a blue. It's like that, like
I don't care.
it's
I
like
don't
a-
care.
It's
I
like
just
a
don't care.
jade green.
I don't care. It was
It's
awesome.
Beautiful. The way I'm looking at this, though, I mean, I'm hoping Northwestern could pull it out, but I think Oklahoma will probably. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's going to happen. Washington, I think, is going to be able to take it against Kentucky. I think Texas can upset Alabama. I really do. I think Texas can take the upset on that. I'm looking at the Tucson, and I'm thinking Mississippi can probably upset Arizona. And as for the Gainesville matchup, I think the Gators can pull it off, and hopefully LSU can beat Minnesota. So, and then Florida State probably beats Oklahoma State because that team's a powerhouse. And the same thing goes for UCLA.
Let's just play softball.
Exactly. This matchup, I mean, this is going to get crazier and crazier because the scores have been outrageous and the teams have been playing furiously. And there's even been, I think, like 2 or 3 fights that almost broke out. Which, hey, I mean, who doesn't want to see someone to get beamed with a softball?
Do it.
Please. That stuff's the best. All right. Well, that's it for that, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on from there, we've got ourselves a talk here on the Chicago Bears, ladies and gentlemen. Because
it's
if you
May.
don't know, it is what?
But it's May.
But it's May. Yes, I know it's May. But they did come out with a little list that they've been trotting out little by little, and it's the top 100 Bears in the history of the team. Now, obviously, they haven't released the whole list. They've released up to 51.
No,
but
they
we're
released
going
up to 26.
Oh, up to 26 now?
Yeah.
Okay, so they've released up to 26, but we're going to review numbers 100 to 76, and then in the future we'll break down these other teams as we go along throughout the
things,
weeks.
not
Yes.
teams. They're not
What-
teams.
whatever.
It's one team.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so I got the
let's
list
break
right here.
this down.
So longest tenure comes in at number 100.
Yeah.
Met him, got his autograph. Patrick Manley, long snapper.
Mhm.
Played from 98 to 2013. Next one, Doug Plank from 75 to 82. He was a safety.
Yep.
Don't know much about him. Then you have Trace Armstrong from 89 to 94. He's a defensive end at 98. Bobby Joe Green, punter, 62 to 73.
Yep.
Current Bear from 2017 to present, number 96 is Eddie Jackson.
Yep.
You have Larry Morris, linebacker from 59 to 65.
Yep.
Jim E. Dooley, I guess. I don't know. 52 to 54, 56 to 57, 59 to 62. Herman T. Lee, I guess is how you would say that.
Yeah.
58 to 66. You have Bill. Oh no, never mind. That's the position he was a tackle. I'm so dumb right now. And you agreed with me too. We're both idiots.
I was just like, okay, yeah, he's got a T in there, sure.
But I'm looking for like a TL, like, or something like
Yeah.
OT or whatever.
Okay.
Fullback Bill Osminski, 39, 43, 46, 47.
Yeah.
Bobby Witaska, tackle 60 to 69. Beatty Feathers, halfback,
Yeah.
34 to 37. Mike Pyle, center, he looks like a goon, 61 to 69. Looks like he took too many things to the head. Quarterback kicker, Joey Sternman,
Yep.
22 to 25, 27 to 30. A lot of these players we don't know. Luke
Well, I mean, I know a few of them.
Luke
but yeah.
John Sauce, I guess. He was an end, 29 to 36.
Mhm.
Aaron Ellis, cornerback, 73 to 77, 79 to Allen Ellis.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Aaron.
Oh, my bad. 79 to 80.
Yeah.
This one I'm not happy with, and hopefully we have enough time to go back with. Number 85, Jay Cutler,
You wanna
09 to
just talk
60.
about it now?
Yeah, let's just go into it.
All right.
He's the leading passer in all stats for the Bears.
He was terrible.
No, I don't get. What do you mean he's terrible? He leads the organization in every quarterback stat out there. Why is he 85? I'd be fine if he was in like the 60s.
Look, at least he made the top 100. He could have fell out of that. You know why he's here.
Why is he 85?
Because he was
he holds every record.
Because he was inconsistent. Because he lost games.
He was inconsistent with no offensive line.
But it was still. But you. Here's the thing. We talked about this on a ride when we took a little trip to Alabama, and we got in a huge argument about this. And he claims that Jay Cutler is an elite quarterback. I disagree completely because if he's an elite quarterback, he should make the players around him better. And he certainly did not do that.
He can make players around him better if he
didn't.
If he can be able to have help to block for him.
So make
you
your
go stand behind those offensive lines.
Fine, I will.
You go deal with all the offensive changes.
I probably will do worse, but he shouldn't be doing as bad as he did. He deserves to be at 85.
No, he deserves to be in the 60s at least.
He deserves to be at 85.
You're wrong.
I don't care if he leads.
We're not talking about it anymore because I'm going to hit you.
Just because you lead in all the stats doesn't mean anything, man.
It means everything.
Doesn't.
It does.
Sid Luckman's still the best quarterback the Bears ever had.
Wrong. 84 is Tom Thayer. He's a guard from 85 to 92. Willie Galt, my bad. Wide receiver, 83 to 87.
Yeah.
George Blanda, quarterback kicker, which is really weird. 49 to 58. I don't get why he's on the list because he's still technically playing. Brandon Marshall, 2012 to 2014. Same with this scum. Elshon Jeffrey, 2012 to 16.
So spiteful.
Dennis McKinnon, 83 to 85, 87 to 89. Dallin Wolford, 89 to 96. Benny McRee, McRae, I hit it right the first time. 62 to 70. JC Caroline. Sorry. It's been a long day.
He's in a blind rage right now with the Jay Cutler
56
stuff.
to 65. The reason I don't think Brandon Marshall and Elshon Jeffrey should be on there. First off, they're ranked way too high and should not be ranked over Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler should be way lower on this list.
Easy, man.
But they are still.
They should be lower. He should be lower on the list.
Jay Cutler should be lower on the list towards like the 60s. He should.
He should be more towards the top?
No, he should be in the 60s, not the 80s. And everybody agrees with me.
That's what I'm saying. He should be more towards the top of the list.
Well, we're going other way.
Right. I get what you're saying.
I know what you're getting, but for me, it's like we're going backwards. So shut up.
Okay.
But Brandon Marshall's still playing, if I'm not wrong.
I think he's officially retired.
Oh, okay. If he's retired, then that's fine. But Elshon Jeffrey is still with the team.
Right.
That's not the Bears.
Yeah.
So that bothers me a little bit. Like, yes, he was a great player for the Bears, but I don't think he should be on the list this high.
I mean, there's an argument to be made, yeah, because of, but it's the impact that he had because he was the receiver that came in and really did damage when we didn't have a receiving core, even when we had Brandon Marshall next to him, he still emerged as the better of the two. So, Brandon Marshall, I would say, yeah, I don't think he really belongs on the list. He was with us for quite a while, and I think he did do some good work for us, but ultimately, how big of an impact was he? Kind of, but not too much. I think Elshon certainly was a bigger impact than him, but yeah, I could see your point in those two being ranked, but number 85 should just not be on the list, and that's that.
You shouldn't be on the list.
I'm not on the list.
Good.
He's not on the list.
I wish I was.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for us here on the show. Tom, where can they find you, man?
McLovin6193 on Instagram and Twitter.
Alrighty, and you guys can find me on Twitter at @TheFluffyGuru. Follow me on Instagram at BoomCrewCaptain. You guys can find us on the Facebook, X-Bomb Sports. Make sure to go like us there, see our old videos, check out the first 2 seasons that we did there. And also make sure, stop taking paper. Make sure, to go check out the Respawn Cast. Every Tuesday and Friday, they are streaming. Kevin, Kat, and Shaq, they do great work on Twitch.tv. Make sure to go check them out there. Follow us on our Twitter at XBomb Sports. Stop juggling. Follow us on our Instagram, also at XBomb Sports, where we post the pictures, we post the videos, all that stuff. You can find all the polls and things we put up there. And make sure to go to our YouTube page here, XBomb Productions. Like, comment, and subscribe. All the videos. Make sure to see all the videos and stuff like that because, guys, we're going to be putting in new content here very, very soon. Also, check out Putting Up Points on SportsTownChicago.com. Again, Jake and Tyler, they do incredible. What?
Trash.
Are you calling your own show that?
Trash. Such trash.
Unbelievable.
They're
you guys
go
check out Putting Up Points on SportsTownChicago.com. Make sure to go give them some love.
Let's go Bruins.
Make sure to hate on this guy for throwing paper at me.
Let's
by the
go
way.
Bruins.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to be on Saturday because Saturday is Memorial Day. And
Weekend.
It's a weekend, and everybody, the school's closed, so we're going to be taking the day off. But we'll be back on Wednesday and next Saturday to bring you the hot sports and all that big news.
Boom.
So we'll see you guys then next Wednesday. I hate you.
Let's go Bruins.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Much love, and peace out, Boom Crew.
Let's go Bruins.